Hey everyone, so let's talk about something that happens to all of us, probably more than we'd like to admit. We're diving into why we so often misunderstand each other. It's one of those universal things that can just leave you scratching your head.
I mean, you've been there, right? You say something you think is totally fine, you have zero bad intentions, and wham. The person you're talking to hears something completely different. It's awkward, it's frustrating, and sometimes it can cause real problems. So what is actually going on in those moments?
Well, it all boils down to a fundamental breakdown in how we communicate.
It's not magic, it's not mind reading, it's this gap that opens up between what one person says and what another person hears.
And this, right here, this is the absolute heart of the matter. You could say the most perfectly crafted sentence in the world, but if the message that lands in their brain is different from the one you sent out, well, communication has failed. The real trick is figuring out why that message gets twisted along the way.
And the reason it gets twisted is because every single one of us is walking around with an invisible filter, and that filter has a name: perception. It literally shapes everything we experience.
Now, look at the definition on the slide. See that word right there? Process? That is so key. Perception isn't something that just happens to us. We don't just passively soak up information like a sponge. No, our brain is actively working, it's building its own version of reality from all the signals it gets. And here's how that process works. First, we select. We can't pay attention to everything at once, so our brain picks and chooses. Then, it organizes that info into patterns that make sense to us. And then, and this is the big one, we interpret it. We give it meaning based on our entire life, our past experiences, our mood, our beliefs. And finally, we process it, making it our own. Every single step is a chance for the original message to get altered.
And this quote just nails it, doesn't it? Because everyone's personal filter, their history, their biases, how they're feeling that day, is totally unique. The same exact words can land in a dozen different ways for a dozen different people. It's wild. So this brings us right to the core conflict, the true source of pretty much all miscommunication. It's this epic clash between the one single objective reality and our many, many subjective perceptions of it.
Just look at this. On the left, you've got reality. That's the one thing that actually happened, the literal words you spoke. But over on the right, you have perception, and that's a whole universe of different meanings that someone could pull from those exact same words. That gap between the two, that's what we need to learn how to bridge.
Okay, you have to get this. This is so important. For the person who heard you, their interpretation is their reality. It doesn't matter what the objective truth was. So arguing about what you really meant, it's usually a total waste of breath. Just understanding this concept is the first huge step to becoming a way better communicator. All right, so we get the problem, it's big, and it's basically hardwired into our brains. So what in the world can we do about it? Let's flip this around and talk about the solution.
Here's the thing. You can't control someone else's perception filter. You just can't. You can't reach into their head and erase their past experiences or change their mood. But you absolutely can control the message you're sending. The goal is to make your message so sharp, so well designed, that it slices right through their filter with as little distortion as possible.
And how do we do that? Well, we focus on three simple but incredibly powerful principles. I call them the 3 C's: be clear, be concise, and be credible. Let's take a quick look at each one. First up, be clear. This means using simple language and avoiding anything that's vague or could be taken 2 ways. Think about it. When a message is fuzzy, our brains tend to fill in the blanks with our own assumptions. And a lot of the time, those assumptions are negative. Being clear closes the door on that.
Second, be concise. Hey, remember that first step of perception, selecting? Well, when you ramble on and on, you're making it super hard for the other person to select what's actually important. Getting straight to the point puts a giant spotlight on your core message, making it way easier for them to hear what you actually intend. And finally, be credible. Honestly, this one is the foundation for everything else. If someone doesn't trust you, it doesn't matter how clear or concise you are, their perception filter is going to be on high alert, looking for traps. Being credible makes them actually want to understand you. It builds trust.
So the next time you're about to have an important talk or write a tricky email or even just send a text that could be misread, you now have a new toolkit to work with.
At the end of the day, here's the biggest takeaway. You don't have to be a passive victim of miscommunication. By mastering these 3 C's, you can actually start to guide the other person's perception. You can build that bridge across the gap between your reality and theirs.
So I'll leave you with a question to think about. We can't be perfect at all three of these all the time, right? But in your very next conversation, maybe even the one you have in the next hour, which one of these C's do you think could make the biggest difference for you? Give it some thought. Thanks so much for tuning in.